Hello children, today we are going to learn chapter 14, the sun, moon and stars. Now, here you can see children, there are some objects given over here. Now every day we see these objects in the sky, isn't it? This yellow round ball which you can see over here, we call it as the sun. S-U-N, sun. This white round ball like object which you can see students, this we call it as the moon. While this white color object, so many objects which you can see in the sky which are shining, this we call it as stars. There are so many stars. Okay. So these we call it as the sun, the moon and the stars. But are the sun, moon and stars visible in the sky at the same time? Can you see all the three of them at the same time in the sky, students? No. Now we are going to learn when do we see the sun and when do we see the moon as well as the stars. Now here you can see there are two pictures given over here. In the first picture, students, you can see the girl is waking up early in the morning and you can see outside the window what is there? The sun is shining brightly in the sky. This we call it as the daytime. This we call it as the daytime. While in the second picture, students, you can see the moon is shining brightly in the sky while there are so many stars that are twinkling in the sky. This we call it as night time. The sky is dark during the night time. Now let's study about the sun. Now we already have studied, student, that the sun is yellow in color and it is big ball of fire. Why do we call ball? Because it is round in size and it is very big. Okay. Now the sun is very hot, children. Very hot. And when they are visible? They are visible during the day. We can see the sun during the day. Now since the sun is very hot, students, it gives us heat and light. During the daytime we feel so hot, isn't it? Why? Because the sun is shining brightly in the sky. Now all living things need light of the sun to live. All living things, whether it be plants, animals, all living things, they need the sun to live. Yes, we have already studied the plants need the sunlight for making their food, as well as it is needed for animals, for human beings also. Yes, during the daytime because they provide us light. Now, the sun rises every morning in the east. Every morning the sun rises, isn't it? Then only the day begins, the morning begins. Now from where do it rise? It rises from the east. While the sun sets in the evening in the west. And the sun sets brings us the night. Now, coming to the moon. Now the moon we already have studied, student. The moon is white in color and it also look like ball. It is white, big ball. Now we see the moon at night. Sometimes we see it even during the daytime. Sometimes it happens, students, that you can see the moon during the daytime also. Yes, but we see the moon at the night, shining brightly in the sky. Now, is the moon of the same shape every day? If you will see the moon, students, every day if you will see the moon, the shape of the moon changes, isn't it? This changing shape of the moon are called phases of the moon. We call it phases of the moon. Now here you can see the shapes of the moon. There are so many shapes of the moon, and every day it keeps on changing. Okay? Now, let's come to stars. Now the stars, we already have studied. There are so many stars which are present in the sky. The stars shine brightly in the sky at night. Okay, when are the stars visible? The stars are visible during the night. Now, have you seen, students, the stars in the sky? They look so tiny, isn't it? But are they very tiny? No, the stars are very big in size, but they look tiny because they are very, very far away from us. That is why the stars, they look tiny, because they are very far away from us. Okay? Now, if you will notice the stars properly, students, the stars, they make pattern in the sky. Here you can see there is the sky, and you can see the stars are making pattern. This is the pattern we call it. Okay? The stars, they make the pattern. One of the example is Great Bear. Now here you can see this is the pattern which is formed by the stars. Now it is in the shape of a bear, Great Bear. That is why we call it Great Bear. Okay, now let's recall what we have studied in this chapter, students. First of all, we had studied about the sun. What is sun? The sun is big, yellow, hot ball of fire which shines brightly during the day. After that, we studied about the moon. The moon looks like a big white ball and its shape changes every night. We call it as the phases of the moon. Next, we studied about stars. Stars are big in size, but they look small because they are very far away from us, and also they make patterns in the sky. And which pattern did we learn? We learned the pattern Great Bear. Thank you, children.